think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Hello.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to Colosseum Daily. Today, we're going to be going over the clusterfuck that was called Kamala Harris's Fox News interview. Yeah, it happened. Kamala Harris pulled up on Fox News, and man, was it a clusterfuck. So, without further ado, I am going to go ahead and put a link in the chat. And if you want to watch this along with me, you could do so. Get your popcorn ready. If you didn't watch BGS stream earlier, get your popcorn ready because this one's a doozy.
Madam Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which
number?
is-
Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is,
What's going on, Never? Never, you there? Snowman.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, no, it's not my mic. Okay. Never, something wrong with your mic or something? Because I can't hear you.
What? Hold on.
No, not you, Namer.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's in the back.
No, that's why I couldn't hear him. My bad. I thought I put you up, man. I'm sorry.
They're on. You did, but you put me off again. They're on to us. Wait a minute. I don't think we should. I don't think you saying putting me on and putting me off should be taken out of context. You know.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I'm glad y'all here to watch this clusterfuck of an interview.
Well, we can't leave you to watch this by yourself. This is emotionally drained. It's going to be taking emotional toll on you.
Wait a minute. Before you press the play button again,
Yeah.
Ugh.
you know what I'm gonna do. You know the sound. You know the button I'm gonna push.
Oh.
In 3 words.
What is gay?
Actually, I was hoping more like Chris Bass.
Yeah,
That'll come. Well, actually, I should have been up here earlier to start with that.
What in the all types of blue hell?
But after
Thank you.
After AB froze on this face right here,
What is gay?
applies.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's have a little fun here. Give me 1 second. I need to pull up my thumbnail.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hell, you missed the thumbnail that I put out for this one.
I did. I missed it.
Oh, this I gotta see.
Hold on, wait a minute.
And I missed it because I've been working on my picks for tomorrow, working on the graphics for the picks for tomorrow morning. Oh God!
Oh yeah, I redid my intro. I've been doing that too.
Oh, you did the intro? Sweet.
Yeah.
Are they trying to reinvent her as the future George Washington or something? Look at that mug. Look like George W. Like
I
George
will
Washington on the.
I will
what?
press it again. I will play this again. BGS, please pose the question.
What is gay?
But real quick, here's my new intro.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
But anyway, here's the thumbnail for the video tonight.
And she's orange as fuck. Yeah, it'd be better if you could make her hair platinum blonde too. Whoa, Snowman! Don't wake up the wife. Don't wake up the wife.
She's already awake, dog. She just came in with dinner about 10 minutes. She's fine.
Wait. Has she seen this? Has she seen this? She got to see this.
Trust me, she's heard me in terms of the politics in the house. Trust me, she knows.
No, but has she seen this avatar? I mean, she's got to see this, man. She's got to see this thumbnail.
Oh Jesus!
Oh man, I gotta pull up again. Damn it!
After I must.
What is gay?
You folks. Two questions for Kamala Harris. One,
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
and you know the second one.
What is gay?
Do they
that
both
we
not apply
have a
here?
broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your
And-
Homeland Security Secretary said that
Well, no,
85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
Oh yes, This is,
She did not bust out. She did not bust out the sister girl on this interview. Do not tell me that.
yeah. If you had any doubt before, this is a black woman in all intents and terms.
A Jamaican one at that.
You know what? BGS, do it.
Now that is some bullshit.
I wish Karine was here because she'd be like, I know, but I don't know. This not be a Jamaican woman. She's not a
Listen.
Jamaican woman.
Karine would tear this to pieces.
Everybody else has. Let's continue.
Estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get you the.
Oh, and just for context, the interviewer is Brent Baer, and to his credit, he's tough on everybody, even Trump.
Yeah, but Trump would just cut him off. If this was Trump would cut him off by saying, "Excuse me, I'm talking."
Question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning?
Lord have mercy. I wish I could play Bishop Bullwinkle, but I don't want to get AB's channel in trouble.
Look on her face, though. Like, did this motherfucker just ask me that question?
It's a good thing she doesn't speak patois.
One more time, BGS, kind sir.
What is gay?
And I follow it with.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
You can't. But
hair to the neck.
Wait a minute, I got to do it. Sick. I haven't done this joke all season long, but I got to do it. 3 black men online, competently talking politics. And Jody just heard me, so she's cracking up laughing.
Wait a minute.
of your
Let's
administration.
continue.
We got three
Beginning
black
of our
men talking.
administration, within
Kramer.
practically
Sorry.
hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the.
Finish,
Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding?
Is this an interview? Or is this a conversation, a debate?
Allegedly is an interview.
My ass.
First of all, Brett knows how to does this for a living. You know this is a Fox. This is somebody from Fox. You know he's going to be confrontational. Obama knew how to be confrontational, but still maintain his poise.
Mm-hmm.
He still maintained his dignity at the very least.
Yeah, and he knew Obama knew what this guy was playing. He knew how to play him well.
Yep. He played. He turned his hand. Obama turned the hand that he was being dealt from this asshole into a winner.
Yep.
Okay.
But
you have to let me finish.
You had the
please.
White House and the House
An
and the
asshole
Senate,
indeed.
and
I'm
they
in the
didn't
middle
bring up
of
that bill.
responding to the point you're raising, and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges. What we needed to do is and increase penalties for illegal crossings. What we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did. And we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl.
Not according to them, but okay.
Give me this.
Coming into the United States, which is a
Wait,
scourge affecting people of every.
Wait, I gotta do this. I have to Mr. T, please say it.
Shut up, fool!
Every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the former Attorney General of
No one cares.
a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
6 Democrats voted against that bill.
You hear that?
Six Democrats. Among them, Bernie Sanders.
6 Democrats voted against their so-called immigration bill. But who do they blame?
We are not going to blame Donald Trump for this. Bernie Sanders, telling you right now, when I looked at this bill, I understood it was.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
You gotta let me
can't
have
do a Bernie Sanders impression. Damn it!
You gotta let me, AB. You gotta let me have that one. I may use it tomorrow during the morning show. I might. You gotta let me have that one. 6 Democrats voted against the bill, which means this sound is necessary.
I gave you the straight. See if you can download it off of the message, because that was a straight MP4 file.
Okay.
About that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions. And they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue.
Oh, you mean like you are?
Right now?
Yeah. Talking about they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue like you are right now.
I hear you.
But actually is focused on fixing
6
it.
Democrats voted
Say that again.
against that.
AB, say that again. Say that again.
The American people don't want somebody playing games with the issue like she is right now. Oops, did I say that out loud?
She's playing political. She's trying to make political hay out of this whole situation.
She doesn't play political games, Master Teacher.
Now, that is some bullshit.
I'll wear that. I will wear that button out.
Illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungary would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants.
As you
Cory
see,
Booker was among them too.
yep.
Cory Booker, Bernie Sanders, Padilla, Butler,
Cinema.
and most of these, 4 of them are from blue states, 2 are from red states. Wait, is Vermont a blue state or a red state?
Blue.
Vermont's blue, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Massachusetts? That's a red state, isn't it? Or is it blue?
I think it's the blue.
I know Arizona's red, but it's just slowly fading. It's shifting to purple.
Immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it were a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted.
What is this motherfucker right here?
She wants to cuss so badly.
Yep.
Look at this face.
She wants to pick up a drink.
She wants to let her inner George Carlin loose and have all of the you can put into an edited interview.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't do it.
Nope.
She can't. Right now, you know what this face says? That she can't cuss right now?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Harvey?
Oh, hell no!
That's what that face says.
Yep.
That face
Laken
is
Riley
saying,
probably would not have
Oh,
been killed.
hell no!
So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine
anything about it,
the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold her all together to ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem.
By the way, I got hold on. I got 15 watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit my Cash App, support the show, hit the super chat, support the show.
Look at that face.
Even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was
I'm sorry, but that's all I'm hearing. I'm sorry. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing this. And I'm hearing a whole bunch of
Oh, hell no!
And the look right there on her face, Dolomite.
Bitch, are you for real?
Let me try that. Let me try that one again.
Bitch, are you for real?
Now,
don't forget Teddy
hold
P.
Hold on, man.
What did I say?
I'm trying to get something out. Now, for everybody who thinks she's not black, look at that face right there.
Thank you. You beat me to it.
if that
Not just any black.
that's one thing I would give her credit for. The black woman came out in this interview.
Boy, did it ever.
Oh,
It's like she flipped it on, but she's still getting a lot of in
Pretty
the
much.
process.
But let's continue.
Policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it.
Hold
Take a
on, did you
listen.
catch
The
that?
policy decision.
Advantage in an election because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the
Did you catch that?
Yep. Play it again.
guess what?
Play it again.
It's a slight ahead, but she's rolling that deck.
Because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let
She's rolling that neck like a black woman.
one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what
I
I'm
will
saying.
tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss. Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now.
You know damn well I am not going to say that on online, KMS, but you're wrong for that.
With an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you
Brett,
want to answer
in all
her?
fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
But you're still not really apologizing for it. So, I mean,
Before you continue, AB,
but y'all read what KMS said. I ain't gonna read that out loud because
no, but I can't. But I'm sure it's alleged that low down Willie Brown can confirm such a thing.
pretty much.
If
During
I
that
could-
time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need.
Wait a minute. Who- No. Let's explore this for a minute. It was broken before Donald Trump came in. Who was president before Donald Trump came in? Oh, this guy.
Rocco.
Here I come to save the day. Here I come to save the day. Here I come to save the day.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Huh?
If I'm not mistaken, but this whole secure the border issue goes all the way back to like what? Reagan? Or
Yep.
possibly Carter?
Mhm.
Because even back then they were talking about building a fucking wall. Excuse my French. Even back then they were talking about building a wall.
Yep.
Good luck
It's
with
always-
that.
I was just down at the border talking with border agents. And
Yeah, it took you 3 years to get there. Oops, I
This
said that out
goes
loud.
all the way back to 1977, and as you said, it took this person 3 years to get there. Oops.
they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
There were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support.
So why haven't you, Joe Biden, given the support that they're asking for? You're the vice president. Joe Biden's the
Wait a
president.
minute. Wasn't there? He never put an executive order
Nope.
Let me see.
No. Okay. Thank you for confirming my question. That's all I wanted to know.
Wait. Just you know the perfect sound for this interview?
What? That's all, folks.
They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care.
Oh, you did?
You still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
Wrong.
5 years ago.
You chose a running mate, Tim Walz, who governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are.
Note the pause.
Yep. See what had happened was
Note the pause. Note the pause.
Can I play devil's advocate here?
Real quick.
Okay.
Time's up.
No, you said no. Wait,
Oh.
you said real quick. I said okay.
Very clear.
I misunderstood. I thought you wanted to say something real quick. AB, my mistake.
And I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations.
We don't care.
From the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when
you do?
Here in Pennsylvania are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
Did y'all hear that?
For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law, and it's a law that Donald Trump actually follows. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries.
And this goes back to...
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Oh, a different. Jermaine's Donald Trump right now.
We're available to on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aide said that
Oh,
he never
why are you talking about yourself like that?
Advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition.
Well, you know what? You got to take responsible for what happened in your
presidency.
administration.
Yeah, no.
Oh, did you hear that? You got to be responsible for what happened during your administration. So, does that mean you guys are going to take responsibility for the genocide you allowed to happen in the Middle East? Are y'all going to take responsibility for the people that got killed by repeat offenders that were illegal migrants? Are y'all going to take personal responsibility for that?
surgeries happened in this
It's
presidency.
in
So
black and white.
would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law, just as I
you have a
think
say
Donald
in
Trump would
this.
say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think it's he spent $20 million on those ads, trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually
So what? It's his money.
has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people. Whereas at $20 million.
Oh, but this comes from a heifer that put in her so-called plan for a black man that she's gonna work for a federal weed reform.
These people went from do your own thing to just say no. They went from love is all you need to whoever was up with most toys wins. And they went from cocaine to Rogaine. Thank you, George Carlin.
On an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though. On plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy.
$6,000 for the first year. And what is daycare in some areas? $3K a month. She's only talking about giving a tax credit for $6,000 for the first year.
What in the all types of blue hell?
As have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker, would ignite inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as president of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future. And
question:
what in the all types of blue hell?
How are you going to turn the page when you're literally controlling the page you're on, but you want to talk about turn the page? You have control of the page you're on right now.
She has control of the book right now.
Yep.
Thank you.
And a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you say turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President.
Oh, like you didn't give money to your friends when you passed that so-called Green New Deal. Oops, did I say that out loud?
By the way, it's not her plan.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions.
Changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden, and so that would be one change in terms of. But also, I think it's important to say, with 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency, and.
What that the master teacher would say? Now that is some bullshit.
I think the sound you're looking for is
now that is some bullshit.
That's the one you're looking for.
Like every new president that comes into office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership.
Now that is some bullshit.
New generation.
You're a junior member of the old guard. What the fuck are you talking about?
New generation of what?
She's not a member of the new generation. She's one of the younger members of the old guard.
Pretty much. What did Leon say here? Too many shows. This really shows you that white men don't play. that shit. Oh yeah, someone gonna fuck around and find out. That only works on black men. Yep, very true.
For example, I'm someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute.
Oh, you mean like Liz
That is
Cheney?
some bullshit.
Sorry.
You mean like Liz Cheney, who lost her primary by over 40 points in the Republican primary? Oops, did I say that out loud?
Let's not throw the bus like that.
I just have one request of this presidential candidate, and it goes like this.
Stop the cap.
Oh, good luck with that.
Just
Stop the cap.
Also, once again, to everybody who says she's not black, look at that face.
That's a black woman right there.
To the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing.
That is some
Addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot of.
Can I do this one?
Go ahead. $50,000 tax credit. Translation.
You need to make $50,000 to take advantage of the credit.
Pretty much.
See, this is empty promises and bullshit. Let's not forget. Who is one of her campaign contributors?
Uh.
I mean, first of all, look at the real estate market right now. Who's buying up all the houses?
BlackRock.
Aren't they contributing to her campaign by any chance?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're part of her transition team too. So,
yeah.
What about those plans in recent days? Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade.
Okay, folks. I'm glad. I'm so glad she said this because we're gonna have a little fun here. Let's do some history right now.
Yes, please.
Let's see. She said 10 years, right? Last decade. That's 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who was the president around? That's around what? 2014 to 2016. Who was the president then? Class. Class. Who was the president then?
Barack Obama.
All right. Barack Obama. He was your president from 2008 to 2016. Now, who was your next president?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
He was your president from 2016 to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your next president?
Who's the current president?
Joe Biden. So Democrats have had control of 6 out of the last 10 years, but you want to turn you as a Democrat are claiming you want to turn the page.
Actually, if we go back to, if we start from 2010 up until 2020.
That's still Obama. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's mostly Obama.
That's why I said 2008 to 2016.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, let's finish up this bullshit.
In which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country.
And once again, whenever she mentions Donald Trump, she's basically saying,
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Can I pose the question again?
Sure.
If y'all take a look at that face, I'll put sentence in front of it. If you take a look at that face, you can't help but wonder,
What is gay?
Yeah, well,
That
and
is
on
one
that
ugly
Americans
ass
literally
Jamaican.
point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an
like
approach
you've
to
been
leadership
doing,
that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up.
But you-
The strength of an
Madam Vice
American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
the wine, the kick and the pitch, swing and a miss.
now, once again, for everybody that says you ain't black, look at that face. And tell me that's not a pissed off black woman.
That is a pissed off black woman who's thinking, God, I'm gonna need a drink after this.
Pretty much.
Madam
That
Vice
is
President, more than
turning the
7
Now you need to hit that a couple more times.
70% of people
That is
tell
about turning the
pollsters-
page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than
People are
70% of people
exhausted.
tell the
Yes, black men are exhausted of Democrats think we having to take their shit. She's absolutely right about that. She's absolutely right. Black men are tired of the Democrat Party talking shit to us.
In her
the country is on the
defense-
wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and president. The wrong track.
Let's look at that number right there. Nearly
This is a poll, right?
Yep. 80% of your country says we're on the wrong track. So why should we vote for you?
Well, at least she's not Stacey Abrams.
Oh God.
At least
That
it
track
ain't
follows
Stacey
3.5
Abrams.
years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
Irrelevant. You've been in the office the last 8.5 years. Donald Trump hasn't had any power.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You
No, we don't. You've been in office the last 3 years. You were the vice president.
As I said, swing and a miss, struck him out a pitch inside a fastball, and the inning is over. Yankees load them up with 1 out and they get nothing.
You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but
Oops.
What? What do you say?
Let's go over this again, folks. For the slow most people that follow me on Slowpoke, but just in case we have any slowpokes in the room, she says the last decade. That's the last 10 years. Barack Obama had those first 2 years, and Joe Biden had the last 4 years. That's 6 years of Democrat rules. They ruled for the majority of that 10 years. That is not a sign of strength, ma'am.
Bitches.
listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president, one, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is.
I'm going to bed. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this shit. And besides, my wife just playfully barked at me.
Oh. Oh well. Okay.
She gave me the. She gave me the finger point in talking about this, and I said, "Honey, why don't you run for president?" Her next word made me laugh out loud when she said, "Shit."
Are you sure that's not a black woman you're married to?
Oh, speaking of women running for Office, I actually happened to catch the Indiana governor's debate today before I came online.
How did that go?
Well, we got a female Democrat running against Mike Braun, and
About as well as you think it would go?
yeah, to be fair to her, compared to Kamala, she's a hell of an improvement. She actually answered questions. She didn't
He
sound like she
answered
was.
straight on questions.
Yeah, she didn't sound like she was drunk half the time.
Or empty-headed, or repetitive, or reading the script. Or reading the script.
Oh, same with Dr. Valerie McCrae, who is running for Senate. She's the lady I told you about that came to our church
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. Now, while I didn't necessarily agree with her message there, I looked at her platform and there's an improvement over what they've been running for Democrats in Indiana. So
Okay.
I might vote for her. Yeah, yes, but Hurt Blue that might be listening. I might vote for a black woman, and I might vote for a Democrat.
I'm glad I had that button queued up. Anyway, my ass is going to bed. I gotta get up early tomorrow, get the show going, and
hopefully Base will be there.
We will see. On that note, I'm not even turning on the football game. I'm not even watching that decrepit Thursday night football game.
Who's playing?
Who is it?
Broncos and Saints.
Oh, let's
mediocre.
continue.
It's dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him instead of the American.
You were saying?
While your surrogates go around making it all about you and making it all about how to pronounce your name, but Trump is making it all about him, really?
Good night, gents.
Good night, Snowman. Links in the chat if anybody else wants to come up. Links in the chat if anybody else want to come up. But anyway.
And people are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk.
So are they misguided, the 50%? Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and be.
Oh, you mean like your supporters do online? I mean,
little and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within.
Oh, side note, the likes on this video is 107K to 2.8 dislikes.
2.8 what?
About 2,800 dislikes.
All right, 2,800.
Compared to 107,000 likes.
Well, this is Fox.
Talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gang. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So
now let me explain this for a minute. Put this in proper context. I forget what show he did it on, but Donald Trump said that as far as political violence, he's worried about someone left. And he said, if necessary, we'll call in the National Guard. Now, for everybody complaining about this, I just have one simple question. If Trump supporters started protesting, would you be mad at Kamala Harris for saying the exact same thing?
Excuse me?
Okay. Donald Trump said
Mm-hmm.
that he's worried some of the knuckleheads on the left will get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if necessary,
He
he didn't
called the
promise
National Guard.
anything. Yeah, he would call in the National Guard to keep order. Now, based on what happened on January 6th,
Mhm.
would you be saying anything to Kamala if she said that about Trump supporters if she wins the election?
I believe, if we're not mistaken, we had a discussion with Master Teacher. He said, they're going to make sure there would not be a repeat of that.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter who wins the elections. You are not going to see a repeat of that shit ever again. They're going to make sure that they're going to beef up security all the way.
Yes.
So
also,
I mean, if you remember when Trump won
wait. Also, Trump knew it might be a problem. That's why he offered Nancy Pelosi security a day before, but she rejected it. So
wait, did he?
Yes.
Okay.
That's on record. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He offered extra security around the Capitol, and they rejected him for that. So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
He was asked about that
No,
specific...
that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest.
Oh, you mean like y'all been doing against the Palestinian protesters?
Wait a minute. Go back to 2020 during the BLM protests after George Floyd. Like the one in DC, you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
They were protesting peacefully across, past down 1600 at Pennsylvania Avenue.
But you're misunderstanding my point, Namer. She said she's speaking as if they haven't been going after protesters already during her administration.
Not her administration.
Yes, Biden's administration. Excuse me.
During Biden administration.
He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States.
Oh, like y'all been doing and actually what she's actually doing is projecting what Hillary Clinton has been talking about.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I need to take care of something real quick. Gotta take care of a little business here. Wrong one. 1 second. Oh, damn it.
Take your time.
Oh, here it is. All right. Let's see. Indigo flow. Indigo flow. Type something in the chat, please. One second.
Candy Grandpa Mongo.
Yeah, I wish. But anyway.
In the United States of America should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this,
No,
Madam Vice President.
but
You
let's
call
not
Donald
diminish
Trump,
the significance of that.
call Donald Trump, he's misguided. You say now
He's
he is unstable.
He is.
Yeah, she bad.
Unstable, but
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
By the way, while I'm thinking about it, this is all her basically saying about Donald Trump is.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
But anyway, let's
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
See, what had happened was
he's been like that since like what, 2008?
Yeah, by the way, like, share, subscribe. I got 22 watching. Hit my Cash App, support the show. Hit the super chat, support the show.
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
So is that why y'all kicked him out of the race in favor of you?
The Democrats set themselves up for failure right from the get-go. They could have had him say, I'm just going to be a one-term president, and they would have had a Democratic race for the ticket. And they would have had somebody more competent. This is who they're sticking with, because at least they got somebody to scapegoat if things go completely left. She knows it.
Yeah. And black man, I'm telling you now, be prepared. Don't be surprised if you hear after election, if Trump wins, don't be surprised if you hear.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Do you remember in 2017 during
Come on, Neymer, I gotta finish this up.
No concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And
but
Donald Trump
But
is.
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Trump is.
But in other words, but.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
It's always Jermaine's fault, or in this case, Donald Trump's fault.
On the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands.
How? How is Iran a threat to the United States of America?
Not directly.
This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic.
They don't even have nuclear weapons. How is Iran a threat to the United States of America?
Missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, and then several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room.
Now, let me just state for the record, is Iran a threat to Israel? Yes.
In the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
But those
is,
proxies
and
were getting funded by
my
Iran.
commitment to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's go back to
oil
Donald
profits.
Trump, who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put Iran in check.
The estimates
and then
in billions
it was during Donald Trump's
that go
administration
towards
that
the Iran regime.
that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches. Not to mention
Madam
how
Vice
Donald
President,
Trump
all of this money
has treated
that
and
has
talked
gone
about
in the
America's
past few
military
years,
and military service people,
critics
calling them
say that
Based on what facts?
suckers and
Hezbollah,
losers,
Hamas,
has diminished
and
the
Houthis. We're
significance.
talking over each other. I apologize.
Well, I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a
And there
decision
are
that
critics
they feel.
who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're wrapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
There's more to say.
Oh, by the way, that's not Fox News telling me he needs to wrap it up. That's the Kamala Harris campaign saying he needs to wrap it up. Oops.
Talk about damage control.
Emotional damage.
There are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why
I invite everyone to go to KamalaHarris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them.
What she's not telling you, half of that is President 2012 is coming. Oh my gosh.
And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do.
And that's why we invited you here, to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military, and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President,
And
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the
Okay.
interview, folks.
By the way, that's not a black women don't go, oh my God. They go, oh my Lord. Oh Lord, Lord, Lordy, Lord.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I had
oh
to
my
go there.
Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Okay. But actually, we have a little fun here.
Am I wrong for thinking the way I think?
I don't know.
Thank you. As an immigrant, I can tell you how much shit was these kinds of discussions annoy me, because I know how much bullshit is involved, or horse shit, as Patrice O'Neill would say.
Yeah, well, speaking of horse shit, well, this isn't horse shit. This is another perspective of how that interview went.
Kamala Harris just sat down for an interview on Fox News, and it was an utter calamity. I took copious notes, and let's just say joy has left the building. What became abundantly clear in this interview is that Kamala Harris, because she's never been pressed before, the second you press her on anything, she crumbles. She cracks and crumbles like a fortune cookie that's been run over by an 18-wheeler. Shattered. Right from the beginning, she was asked about immigration, which is her least favorite subject because she's overseen the worst immigration crisis in American history. She immediately tries to blame Donald Trump for the crisis at the border, but Brett Baer, he says, no, 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 you guys rolled back all of those executive measures like Remain in Mexico that were keeping the crisis under control. Kamala continues to talk about this amnesty bill she was pushing her first day in office. That was a bill that would have given citizenship to 11 million migrants. In 2021, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they had the House, the Senate, and the White House. She is lying when she says Donald Trump is responsible for the crisis at the border. Another key moment is that for the first time ever, Kamala Harris was asked, when did you know Joe Biden was in cognitive decline? You would think she has an answer rehearsed for this, but she says, well, Biden's not on the ballot. Trump's on the ballot. Biden's not on the ballot. Yes, sweetheart, we know that. That's why you're sitting here. Kamala, maybe you stopped at Chili's on the way to the interview for a couple of margaritas, but we understand Joe Biden is no longer on the ballot because you, Nancy Pelosi, and other Democrats shanked him and threw him out like the trash. Throughout the interview, when Kamala Harris does not have answers for Brett Bayer's question, she says, well, Donald Trump, he's unstable. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. Well, guess what? Donald Trump is beating you in many of these polls. She really got hit with the reverse Uno card, whatcha? Because if Donald Trump is so terrible.
Thank you, BGS, for that. We're going to take a look at that.
What?
He just sent a link to Brett Bayer's thoughts after the interview.
Ooh.
Shout out to BGS in the chat. By the way, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show. BGS tax is down
tax in effect.
All right, let's see here.
He took all the joy. As our very own, he's the host of Special Report. I think he took all the joy out of the Kamala Harris campaign today. She didn't look particularly joyous doing this interview, but I thought you did a great job with a very limited amount of time. And
I would like to state for the record, despite my problems with the Democrat Party, I could never stand Sean Hannity. But anyway,
I just want take us behind the scenes. What was going on?
Yeah, obviously, thanks, Sean. It's great to see you. It was a little tense. We were given the time of 5 p.m. Eastern time. Obviously, my show is at 6 p.m. They wanted to tape at 5 p.m. We said we were going to tape as live. In other words, roll the tape and then just turn that around, unedited, uninterrupted. And but we had to do it before 5:15. Otherwise, we couldn't turn the whole machine around before the top of the 6 p.m. show. So we were waiting at 4:55 and then 5 and then 5:05 and then 5:10.
So on top of acting like a black woman during the whole interview, she was on CP time too. Yeah, go figure.
At
CP time?
Colored folk time.
Oh.
It's an American expression. But anyway.
17, the vice president walked out. So it did feel a little bit like they're icing the kicker or trying to. And originally they were talking about 25 minutes and they gave us 20 minutes. And I was fine with any time. I was really happy to get the interview. But I knew right away when we started asking questions, that this was kind of a sense that she was going to keep on talking. And that if I wanted to get through and redirect, I was going to have to interrupt. I don't particularly love to do that. But if I didn't do it, there may have been, 4 answers in the interview.
Well, I don't really think you had any choice. And for people that don't understand the time in TV, if somebody's trying to filibuster or avoiding a direct question, which you did repeatedly, or just going off and using that moment or every moment to attack her opponent, as I think she did often in this, what I did like about what you did, I'm guessing you probably.
Oh yes. One thing Hannity's right about, she did a lot of this with Donald Trump.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Probably had 50 questions in your arsenal that you were ready to ask, questions you would have loved to have gotten to.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
75.
But what I noticed, and I think you had to do, is, for example, you did spend a significant amount of time on immigration. Now, I played a lot of tape at the beginning of this show. She wants to decriminalize illegal immigration. She said it in her own words. She wants free housing, healthcare, education, sex change surgeries. She's on tape saying it. You brought up Tim Walz's position, driver's licenses, free college, a path to citizenship, amnesty. They rescinded all of the Trump, and they said it proudly, all of the Trump policies that were working. Trump's chart that he loves so much shows that. That's the chart that saved his life in Butler, PA. And she just denied it and wouldn't answer it. I was more shocked at her lack of apology to people that died by these unvetted illegal immigrants that came in because of their policies.
Yeah. So I studied how she's answered immigration before, and it really does go through a TikTok. You know, she says when they first arrive in office, they put forward this bill and it didn't go through. But she doesn't talk about the bill. It was an amnesty bill for 11 million illegal aliens inside the country over 8 years. They had control of the White House, the Senate, and the House, and yet the Democratic leadership didn't put that bill forward, and the White House really didn't even push it. But she starts there, and then she says there's this evolution. She tried to do all these things with the president, and then they had this comprehensive effort, this bipartisan bill. The bipartisan bill was voted against by 8 Democrats, and it had some major problems that conservatives didn't like. There were about 1.8 million illegal immigrants that would be let in every year. And there were all kinds of other stipulations that conservatives didn't like. So it didn't have a chance. She says that these things happened very quickly. The one bill and the other bill, there were 3.5 years in between them. And in that time, 94 executive orders were rescinded, among them catch and release and remain in Mexico. And that's why a lot of these people were released. It's, you know, there's different numbers, but if you go by the Homeland Security Secretary, 85% of the apprehensions, it's more than 6 million people. And some of them committed heinous crimes. And that's why I wanted to go down that road at the beginning. And I spent a lot of time on it, but I thought nobody else would go into that depth, and I figured it was worth it.
I think it was enlightening, and I think if you didn't follow up and you didn't press it and you didn't inform viewers about what was actually in that bill, because you're right, she gives the same answer. The only answer that I got to give her credit she didn't use is she didn't say, did you know I came from a middle-class family? I expected that answer at some point. At one point,
yeah, he ain't lying about that one.
You reminded her that she had been in power for 3.5 years. She has been saying on the campaign trail she will fix inflation on day one. She will deal with the border on day one. Wasn't day one January 20th, 2021? And then at one point she said, well, you know what I mean. And you said, no, I really don't. Explain that.
Yeah, I really didn't. I played the sound bites. You remember, she had a couple of bites at the apple in a couple of shows. The View, Stephen Colbert, they essentially asked the same question. She did it on The View. It got a lot of attention. I think Stephen Colbert maybe asked it again to try to give a cleanup operation. I played those sound bites for her and essentially thinking they have to have a different answer now, this many days later. And it really didn't have that much substance differently, saying that she would do something differently. So the theme of the campaign is a new way forward and turn the page. And what I said was, if you're turning the page, who are you turning the page on? You were the vice president for the last 3.5 years. And obviously went with some follow-ups. When she said, you know what I'm talking about, Donald Trump has been running for 10 years. I was just being honest. I didn't know what she was talking about. And I was trying to get at what she was saying.
So the Harris campaign knew that this was going to air tonight. You say that she finally got in the chair at 5:17. You have to turn this around by 6 p.m. Not an easy task in television. They had given you a hard 30 minutes, no more. And my understanding is they were
actually it was 25, and then it went to 20.
Oh, so they cut back on the time, and you know that they're cutting back. It's just not exactly easy. How did it end? We know how it started. When she left, how was her campaign? How was she to you when she left?
Yeah, it was cordial. And I said, thank you so much, Madam Vice President, for the time. She said, thank you. Her people, probably 4 people, were wrapping me, with big, moving arms. That's why I looked out to the side and said, I've got to wrap up. You want to keep talking, you want to keep asking questions, but they were very animated. And listen, I hope she comes back. I actually think this is a different take. I think she had a mission that she wanted to do. And maybe she wanted to have a viral moment. She wanted to have a pushback. She came to Fox News and she wanted to have a go after Donald Trump viral moment that plays on a lot of other channels and on social media. And I think she may have gotten that. I think in the interim, we had a good exchange. I wish it wasn't so much filibuster. I wish it was just a cordial conversation about policy and follow-ups. Maybe if we had more time, maybe she'll come back. I don't know. I don't know if she will or not, but I hope she does. And obviously, I hope the former president does the same format.
It was very enlightening. I walked away with a feeling of, I think I kind of understand why they don't want tough interviews, and this will be the last one I think that they ever do. But you did your job, and you were fair, you were tough, you followed up, you pressed her, and in a very short period of time. We appreciate you sharing your time with us tonight. Thank you, Brett. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Could have
That's
been
enough of
worse.
Hannity.
Imagine if it was Bill O'Reilly.
Don't remind me.
It's all right. I mean, I remember listening to him what was it, a couple of months ago. He was on Jon Stewart's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Just as condescending as ever. Just as disrespectful.
Bigoted piece of shit.
Yeah, and referring to Jon Stewart as by his last name.
Oh.
Doesn't like the guy one bit.
I don't like his racist ass either, but you know.
Then again,
oh yeah, that's right. But Hurt Blue. I'm not a big fan of Fox News. I don't watch Fox News like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, his most recent guest on his Jon Stewart's most recent guest on his podcast was Ezra Klein and Stacey Abrams. Just to hear her voice, I was like,
Stacey Abrams, huh?
Stacey Abrams. You hear them talking about. She was bringing up about voter suppression and whatnot, which is a valid argument, but.
So is that why Georgia had record turnout when she got her behind kicked for the second time by a bigger margin? Oops.
She was. I'm not surprised, but then again, she did that to herself. She thought she was entitled to black men's votes.
Oh, by the way, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, has had record early voting. And guess who they're voting for? Oops.
Don Cheadle.
Pretty much. So shout out to Stacey Abrams. She got the vote. She got a lot of people registered back in 2020, and now it appears some of those people are voting for Trump now. So congratulations to Stacey Abrams. You played yourself. You registered all them people. You registered all them people, and you still got your behind kicked by 10 points. But go ahead, Damon. What were you going to say?
I just want to say regarding the interview, they're talking about Tim Walz endorsed some of the things that were like on that border thing.
Yeah.
First of all, Tim Walz is the governor of a state that is a border state, but that state is on the other side.
Yeah.
His state borders Canada. You know what's on the other side of that border with Canada? The province of Manitoba. Last time I checked, I've never heard about people crossing into the U.S. from Manitoba just like that. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, Tim Walz got another problem right now. Now, for the record, just so Butthurt Blue doesn't say I'm misinforming anybody, there's an alleged allegation against Tim Walz. I have not seen enough evidence to completely confirm it, so it's just an allegation. There's an allegation of SA against Tim Walz by a dude, I think. So there you go.
What is it with? And they say it was just.
I don't even know if it's true. So I'm not really trying to cover that. I don't even know if it's true. So.
It's all right. I mean, we can't confirm certain things though. Like a few years ago, how many
most legitimate Republicans we know turned out to be in the closets.
Yeah.
Like one getting picked up in a men's room.
Oh yeah. Republicans. I've never been. Republicans are in no position to talk about LGBT stuff. So, whatever.
Yeah. As far
Everybody
as like
knows
what they said about those. Oh, go ahead.
Everybody knows about the log cabin Republicans and all that crap. So,
Log
it is
cabin.
what it
They're
is.
the old. Yeah, one of the oldest. They're like what, pushing like 50 years now? 50 years they've been lobbying and shit?
I don't know, man. It
I'll
is
look
what
them
it
up
is.
later. One of the oldest lobbying groups, you know. One of the oldest conservative lobbyist groups. But you know, as far as all this crap goes, and shouts out and condolences to the families that lost their children, that lost their daughters and whatnot. If those 3 daughters were killed, imagine how many sons were also taken out. Because let's not forget, this is a gynocentric world we live in. Imagine how many boys might have been harmed. How many sons were also had their lives taken due to, you know, illegal immigration. But
yep.
Even then, I look at that and say, wait, hold on a second. You could do a better job at monitoring these folks, keeping them in place. See, this reminds me of the whole mess that happened in 2015 in Europe with Germany. They didn't have a plan when they said they're going to take in 800,000. When they saw all those people, you know, trying to cross the Aegean from Turkey into Greece. And the Greeks were threatening to give these people, you know, Greek travel documents just so they can cross into the EU if they didn't get help. And I saw some similar shit like this happen before. 2011, you started when Gaddafi fell. They started seeing boats from Libya trying to cross into Europe. You had Italy force France's hands when they started handing out migrants travel documents, Italian travel documents. And some of them were heading into France because many of them who were Tunisian nationals were trying to get to France since they have family in France, and most of them spoke French.
Yeah.
So
I got something to show. Now, as you know, I showed that document Kamala Harris came out to allegedly appeal to black men, and most of that was President 2025. Oh my gosh! But anyway, here's how some black women are taking that, and I'm gonna say this as nice as I can.
Is she a cousin of Joy Reid?
No. Let me finish. You heifers have lost your fucking mind, and you need to watch your fucking mouth. You understand what I'm saying in a minute.
Kamala gave you niggas the best proposal I've ever heard in my motherfucking life. And when I mean niggas, I literally mean black men, African American men. Like I'm kind of jealous. Not even gonna hold you, cause if she would have did that for black women, I would have went on ahead and start putting out my notes and lists exactly what the fuck I was going to have, how I was going to apply. Every fucking start date when that shit would have dropped, just so I can be first in line to apply to every single loan, every single down payment that she put out for a motherfucker. You niggas saw what she said, spat in her face and said, bitch, fuck you. We don't want that shit. We just want you to get rid of child support. That's literally.
And what's the problem?
Not just child support, but give us also our babies.
Yep.
I just cannot believe. And this is why I fucking say I am tired. I am tired of black women, actual smart.
Bitch, we tired of you.
Intelligent, strong, independent black women fall into their
You mean dumbass black women falling to their knees?
Knees to make things more comfortable and more suitable for the most ignorant, bow-legged, knock-needed motherfuckers in our
Oh, don't talk about yourself like that, man.
Community. Stop appeasing to these niggas. Everything that is coming out their motherfucking mouth should have soap dumped down their throat because.
Oh, why are you talking about yourself like that?
Nothing makes fucking plausible sense when it comes out of an ignorant black man's mouth. These niggas don't give a fuck what Kamala do. These niggas don't give a fuck what she come out and say because they hate black women. They hate the fact that a black woman skipped them to get where the fuck she at. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate knowing for a fact that black women are behind a lot of things that basically benefits the black man. They hate it, but yet they refuse to get off their fucking ass and educate themselves because no fucking way. No way that you think for a fucking second that a black woman is going to literally strip away child support. Something that holds your motherfucking ass responsible for laying down, doing the deed, and creating said child. And you want that black woman to go in fucking office and strip away the only responsibility that keeps your ass in that child's life. Kamala gave you.
Yeah, I'm actually going to debunk this bitch in real time too. Let's see. So we don't listen to black women. Let's see. Valerie McCray. This is Valerie McCray. She's running for Senate in Indiana. So let's see what she has to say. Let's see. Nah, that's too long. Oh, she got a lot of long ones. Let me see. See if I can find a short one.
I'm running for U.S. Senate because as a psychologist, has worked in prisons, has worked with the military, has worked with Stop the Violence movement here in Indianapolis. I personally was beginning to be overwhelmed by just how much I wasn't able to do. And the decision to get into politics was actually a practical decision because I needed to find a way that I could really, really affect more people. I needed to go to Washington to change the policies to make sure we address the issues that are causing the stress that are putting people in mental health crisis in the first place. I felt like I was a perfect person to do that because of my research, because of my teaching, because of the clinical work that I did. It was just important to take that to a different level to make sure I could affect more people.
Dr. Valerie McCray.
Yes. Running for Indiana Senate.
Now that is a competent woman, a successful woman, a woman who is not an empty suit, a woman who knows her stuff, a woman who has genuine intentions.
Now, I wish she would have said that when she came to our church a couple Sundays ago, but I understand she probably had to give the typical Democrat spiel, especially if it was online, so she had to do that. So,
yeah, of course,
it is what it is. But I've been somewhat impressed by what I've seen so far. There's a few issues that she's agrees with that I don't agree with, but that's any politician.
They're a mixed bag.
It's always a mixed bag. Shout out to Dr. Dunbar in the chat. It's always a mixed bag. You take what you can get. And quite frankly, she's an improvement over what Democrats usually run for Senate and governor. And so is the other lady. I forget her first name, McCormick. She's running to be governor of Indiana. Used to be a Republican, but you know. Well, yeah, I made a post on Facebook to anybody who thinks I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she's a woman. Go kick rocks. I voted for Julie Carson till the day she died. Julie Carson used to be our congresswoman. I voted for several. I voted for a female governor and I voted for a female mayor. They both lost. So I'm considering voting for Dr. Valerie McCray, and I'm considering voting for the lady who's going to run for governor. We're all Democrats, so I don't want to hear this shit about I'm afraid of voting for a powerful woman. I don't want to hear that crap.
You want a competent woman. She is a strong, powerful woman.
Yes.
This is someone who comes from. This is someone who's passionate about what she believes in regarding the mental health and understanding that
And
there
it
needs to be
actually
more help for
helps.
the VA.
She grew up with my older cousins too. So there's that.
Oh, so she's of that generation, is she?
Yeah, she's baby boomer, I think, because she grew up with my older cousins. So, but I think it'd be interesting to see what would happen if we had an actual psychiatrist come up there and evaluate what's going on in Washington. So,
And
I
she's
hope
not a
she wins.
butthurt, bitter blue.
I hope she wins. Yes, butthurt blue. You heard that correctly. I hope a black woman wins in Indiana, a Republican state.
And she's not a butthurt, bitter blue herself.
As far as I can see, she didn't mention Trump, so whatever. She didn't mention
No.
we need to let Kamala blah blah blah, but the typical
No,
line.
she's focused on states' issues.
Yes.
As a senator of that particular state, she's worried about what goes on in her district, in her state.
Yes. Which is what she's supposed to do.
Just like the mayor of any city should be concerned with which goes on in his or her, jurisdiction.
Oh, let me play. She had another one. I want to play another one. Of her video since 1 second here. She had another short one. I'll look at some of the other.
By the way, the one that was running her mouth talking shit about us. If anybody in the chat can check if anybody's ever seen this heifer before, I'm getting that ghetto gagger vibe from her stinking ass.
She is a ghetto getter. I don't want to see that shit.
I don't want to see that.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Sorry, my bad.
I'm running for U.S. Senate because as a psychologist, has worked in prisons, has worked with the military, has worked with Stop the Violence movement here in Indianapolis. I personally was beginning to be overwhelmed by just how much I wasn't able to do. And the decision to get into politics was actually a practical decision because I needed to find a way that I could really, really affect more people. I needed to go to Washington to change the policies to make sure we address the issues that are causing the stress that are putting people in a mental health crisis in the first place. I felt like I was a perfect person to do that because of my research, because of my teaching, because of the clinical work that I did. It was just important to take that to a different level to make sure I could affect more people.
Yes,
Understand,
butthurt
this is a
blue.
woman. Yeah.
I just didn't play one. I played two ads of a black woman running for a Democrat running for Senate in Indiana.
Wait, is this the state senate or the
No,
national
the U.S. Senate.
Okay. All right, not the state legislative. Okay. National, federal legislative. All right.
And if she wins, she'd be the first. She'd be the first. I'm trying to get the words out. She would be the first Democrat to win statewide since 2012, almost over 10 years ago.
It's been 12 years since you guys last had a Democratic senator out of Indiana.
Salute to Dr. Dunbar coming to the building.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Well,
crap,
it
I
isn't
can't hear you
everybody's
guys.
favorite Wolverine.
Let me try it again.
Oh, you can't hear us?
We can hear you. Give me back. We heard you, right?
Yeah,
Must be an
I
audio
heard him all
problem on
right.
his end.
Must be something from his end, but
By the way, it's Dr. Goodbar when he's up in here.
Dr. Goodbar, I actually like
Well,
his
he's
name.
known
He
as
said,
Dr. Goodboy over in Baltimore.
mm-hmm. By the way, I got 33 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit my Cash App. Support the show. Hit the Super Chat. Support the show. Support AB Media 83.
Yeah, baby.
See if Dr. Dunbar comes back up in a little bit.
He's gonna be there.
But I think her background's interesting, and be something to add to the Senate.
Hey, Mr. Donnie Mac sets it up right there.
Yeah,
Competency should be compensated.
agreed.
We need competent leaders.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. This is the Black Manosphere. I thought we hate black women though.
Dun,
All
dun,
right.
dun.
Oh, we apparently hate black women over here, but
Dun, dun, dun.
See, what time is it? About 10:37 here.
You got work in the morning?
Kinda. I gotta go into
Oh, all right. How you handle it these days now, anyway?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's
sorry,
see,
what was
Doctor. Let's see, Doctor. Oh, tag on it. I almost had Dr. Jermaine Barr, but he went out again.
Give him a minute. Give him a minute. Give him time. Give him
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Folks in the DMV been complaining about, their ISPs over there and shit.
Oh, really?
One of my mutual friends with Snowman. He's got his own show, and because if I'm not mistaken, they were also affected by
Let's see if we
Halloween.
get him this time.
All right. See, there's a delay when you come into the studio, and I don't want you to put me up there again just for the same thing to happen. But
Okay.
I'm up. I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Hey, what up, big brother?
All right.
Oh,
Hey, I just want to come up real quick. It's close to my bedtime. That Joyanne Reed lookalike.
Yeah.
It's hearing that type of.
She's not the only one either. I'm like, look, don't lose your mind.
Yeah, I mean, hearing that type of babble, it's just awful. It's just disheartening. That I mean, she said, "Y'all mad because she skipped over y'all." Technically, no, because actually Barack, well, he was first. But see, I don't understand. I don't understand now, having gone through that with Barack, how people could still be so delusional, and I don't understand. We've got to get her in there, even though she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't understand economics. She doesn't answer questions.
Right.
I don't understand this. We just got to get her in there, and it's like, do you all even care about border security? I mean, do you all even care about having a leader who can show some strength on the world stage? Do you even care about the economy, or will you just be happy the fact that you have a so-called sister girl in the White House? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll tell you
by saying, "Oh, go ahead."
No, I was gonna say, I guess I've turned into a bit of a lurker, online. There are people who watch, who look, who watch things going on, and they don't say anything. On Facebook earlier, this woman was going on about, I guess during The View, I guess the Trump campaign is running an anti-abortion, a set of anti-abortion ads during The View. So apparently they're pretty graphic. But she was talking about, I can't believe, that they would run such a terrible ad, such a disgusting ad, during The View. And it's like, well, what do you think? I didn't see the ad, but it's like, well, what do you think abortion is? What do you think happens in an abortion? Babies get killed. sometimes it's pretty grisly.
Yeah, really grisly.
And I don't know, man. I'm not a woman. Maybe if I was a woman, I'd be all in for reproductive rights and I wouldn't care about anything else. But you know what, guys? You know what was also crazy?
What
is that the Abby Phillip discussion with the white feminist when Nina Turner was on there? Did you guys peep? This is the irony of it. Did you guys peep how the white woman pointed out that we're after reproductive rights and we have to get men. We're looking for support for men. We're after reproductive rights for women, but we're on here lobbying for support from men. And it's like, you idiot! You don't have a country full of women. I mean, we're a part of this country too.
Yes.
So yeah, you can't just do whatever you want unilaterally. You can't just get whatever you want unilaterally. And I thought there was a level of insanity to that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to understand how much they look at men. First of all, the Joy Reid lookalike, she's looking at us and thinking, you must be a fool for not taking what you're given. You must take what you're given, black man. Don't be asking for better. Who the fuck are you to ask, man? We're human
And notice she
beings.
said if she had everything, she would ask for better. And while telling us not to
Exactly.
ask for better.
And that shows the amount of contempt black women have for black men. Also, if this heifer gets elected, imagine seeing her standing next to a lot of people, a lot of leaders during world summits and whatnot. Especially when they got to take those group pictures. Just looking at that face smile. Ugh. Come on now.
Yeah, well, we might find out.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many contradictions. My mother was here last week, and they did their little tour, their little senior tour of the National Mall and the monument. And my mother held up a Kamala Harris shirt for me at dinner that she got from a street vendor. And there's just so many contradictions, man, because my mother goes to church every Sunday, and it's like, do you know what Kamala, what she's representing? Do you know what she's bringing in with her? Do you know that she's down with all the transgender surgeries and the
girls sport.
Yeah, it's just there's so many contradictions to this that people are just willing to overlook because she's a quote unquote black woman and she's not Trump and she's qualified, quote unquote.
They're just saying, just vote her in. She'll figure it out once she's in office. No, she won't.
Good evening, everybody. Dr. Dunbar, I want to ask you a question. Did she get you a shirt too? A Kamala shirt? No, man. No. And you know what? I think let's see. There was a family gathering at home back in Buffalo a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And politics inevitably comes up. But my brother told me afterwards, he said, Mom said she was glad that you weren't there. Because and I have to try to not engage, but when I hear things and I know better, especially from the older generation, there's something inside me that says, okay, let me get this person, or let me try to inject some logic into the situation. For example, and I do a lot of thinking about this one. So my auntie Vonnie, she made a statement one time. Buffalo's a small city. It's not like big like DC or New York, but I mean there are ghettos in every city. There are impoverished neighborhoods in every city. And she starts going on and on about all these men making these babies. And I said, what?
Too.
And I said, Yvonne, that's not right. The women are the ones who initially have to decide that the transaction is going to go down, right? And then the woman makes a decision to keep the baby or to abort the baby. So she has two big decisions right there. So to say that these men are making the babies, that's not right. That's false. And so Andre, to answer your question, no, my mother did not get me a Kamala Harris shirt. She knows that I voted for Trump twice. I might go for Cornell this time or Jill Stein as a protest vote for a third party. But no, she knows. She knows. So did I answer your question? Oh yeah, you did. I was just messing around. Okay, and then the other thing in Black families, AB, you might have experienced the same thing. It's like there's this weird thing where, I mean, you might vote for someone, you might not. There's this thing where you have to be in love with the candidate to vote for the candidate. Okay, and so there's this. My uncle, and I love my uncle. I love all these people. So, but there's this. Oh, that's your boy. That's your boy, and they say it. They say it with this chip on the shoulder. Like, oh, that's your boy, and it's like, well, do you guys care about this country? Do you care about the border? Do you care about the economy? Do you care about what the country's going to look like after you guys die? Because you guys are probably going to die before we do. Do you care? But no, it's like there's this chip on their shoulder when they say that. Oh yeah, your boy.
Yeah. Your boy, yada yada yada. Y'all worship him, don't you? Like, huh? What are you talking about? Y'all give him too much credit.
Yeah. Hey, AB, I've only caught bits and pieces of that interview that she did. Like, it was the Fox interview that you were just playing. I only caught bits and pieces of it, but the part that stuck out to me the most, well, one of the parts, well, at least from the part that you were playing, was the fact that interviewer was like, I hope you got what you wanted to say about Donald Trump out, basically. Because he's the first person I heard call it out. Because every time she does an interview, she just sits there and talks about Trump, and they're not talking to Trump; they're talking to you.
Yeah, well, yeah. She
All I know is this is just a one complete utter shit show in an election.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you wonder, like the Joyanne Reed lookalike there, the folks in my family. When you see, I wonder what they think when they see those three girls killed, that they got killed. And it was due to the policies and the inaction and the negligence of the current administration. I wonder, but we can't have that conversation. We can't have that.
Oh no, you can't never criticize a Democrat while they're in office.
No, but you can't have that conversation logically. Is what I'm saying. You can't ask them. How do you feel about that? Do you still? Those three young girls are dead. I mean, do you still want her to be the president? I mean, she was complicit in that, and she said on camera, "There's nothing I would change. There's nothing I would do different." I don't know why she said that, but she must not. Maybe the lights are too bright for her.
No, she was
sorry. And Sonny Hoskins, the one who asked her the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was comfortable. because that was because she said that on The View, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think she was around, some pure limousine liberals, and she was comfortable. Plus, Sonny Houston said a lot of messed up stuff about black men. So yeah.
Yeah, what you call us?
Crazy black
Donald,
men who voted for Trump.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know Sonny Huston was 55 years old, but I mean, she's married. That's another Angela Wright type, a waste of a baddie.
Yeah.
But yeah, for her to say that like that, that's like disrespect to all of us, and they don't really care.
And she's not even black.
They don't really care. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, she's black.
No, the one who said crazy.
Is Sonny Houston black? I don't know.
She's half. I looked her up. She's half Puerto Rican, half black.
Okay.
But might as well be black.
No, she's black. It's that one drop or whatever. But she's married. Oh, okay. Somebody said she found a set to put up with her, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off of what Dr. Dunbar said, it's not even just like she said she wouldn't do anything differently. She said she was there when all these decisions were made, and that was her excuse that she was using for the longest while, is that it's either Biden's fault or it's Trump's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence this graphic.
Looks like you got a super chat there, AB. That's who can sympathize with what I'm talking about.
All right, let's see.
Dr. Dunbar, I've got relatives stateside, and I have not spoken to them for quite some time. And I know eventually this is going to be brought up, so that's why I don't talk to them much.
Yeah, that it's your boy stuff. It is a form of hold on, wait a minute. Is a form of the form of straw manning. Many parents do this to me all the time. There is no gray area with Trump. You can't not like him, but still think he's better than Kamala. Okay.
Kamami.
There is no in between.
Cam.
Well,
go ahead.
When you look at Trump, there is no in between. Yes, you can look at nuances and whatnot, but
he's a prick. You either like him or you don't.
Exactly.
But the thing is, is a person's thinking nuanced enough to be able to separate the candidate from the policies? Because I can vote for someone and not necessarily think that they're the best person or the most polished.
Right.
But if I agree with their policies, and if I think their policies are the best thing going forward for everybody, then I can vote for them. But some people have to like the person first, and damn whatever they're going to do when they get in there. That's what I don't understand that thinking.
Well, that's why I played Dr. Valerie McRae's ad, because my initial reaction, I didn't care for what she had to say, but based on her background and what she plans on doing, okay, I might consider voting for her. And also, just want to play that just to one up that Joy Reid look alike. It's like, no, we take black women candidates seriously. It's just that we look at Kamala, we look at somebody that's not ready for the job.
Who will never be ready for the job by the looks of it. It's way too late.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna hang on for a few more minutes. So, when it comes to politics, especially on the Democratic side, I believe there's a game of 3D chess being played here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barack wanted an open convention.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Do you think? And Barack is. I said this on my channel. Barack is a smart dude. I mean, he's no dummy.
Right.
Do you think what he said was that just arrogance, or you think he was trying to blow up trying to sink her campaign
Uh,
because he didn't
A little
want
bit of
her
column A, a
initially.
little bit of column B.
Okay,
probably a combination of both.
because again, we don't necessarily all like him, but
Mhm.
he's a smart, calculating guy. So he's heard what people think about what he did and what he didn't do,
Mhm.
and he knows a lot of Black people don't like him. So I'm thinking, how could you not have known that there was going to be blowback from you saying this? How could he not have known? Which makes me think maybe he did know.
Well,
It
I
may
like to
be a
be just.
combination of both. Well, let me answer that. It may be a combination of both. He hadn't really said anything up to this point, so I think it may have been a combination of him playing ball and going rogue at the same time.
Yeah, I agree with that take because I did like BG's take on it when he was saying that pretty much he's just going along with the program.
Yeah, you also Bubba came out and gave away the game. Said we have a lower population, and you know that's one of the reasons for immigration. And he also pointed out that one of the young ladies that got killed, if he were properly vetted, he would have never been over here in the first place. So that's throwing Joe Biden and Kamala under the bus. So,
And they were properly monitored. As somebody who's been through a similar system like that, I can tell you, they don't fuck around with us. And they vetted me like a motherfucker.
sadly, it does. That censorship does override intelligence. Remember, Obama has showed similar disrespect to black men before. Yeah, that's true, and ignored it because they wanted the first black president. Yeah, that's true.
I just saw that footage for the first time on X where Jesse Jackson got caught on camera saying that he wanted to
Do something
castrate.
was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't know that Barack could kind of put us
Yeah,
down
yeah. I
that
heard
many
about that
times.
when it happened.
Okay. See, I thought Jesse was just hating, but no, Barack has a history of being condescending to our people, but also to our men in general.
What did he say prior to this, if you don't mind me asking?
I think one of the things was he gave a speech about no excuses, no crying, get up off your your ass, and
Yeah.
do
Basically, pull your
better for
bootstraps
yourselves. Sorry?
Basically, pull your bootstraps.
Pull your bootstraps up. And then I think he made some comments at a Morehouse commencement as well.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Okay. At one of the most prominent HBCUs at a graduation commencement speech, you say this shit.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you hear, what is it, on a hot mic when they're in between takes during an interview at a news network, Jesse's looking at his associate saying, "Yo, Obama gotta stop with that nigga shit. If he keeps up with nigga shit, I'm gonna cut his fucking balls off." Which explains why he was crying at the when at Obama's acceptance speech when the results came out in 2008.
Yeah. But the thing is, and I'll probably drop down after this. These people, who was it? Was it Angry Man? Was somebody pointed out that we didn't choose these people. Okay, these people were chosen for us. I think Senator Tom Daschle pegged Barack as the next guy, and I think that shows how this whole political machine works. These people, I mean, he sold himself as a community organizer, and he was out there in the streets doing the work. But on the political side in the Democratic machine, he was selected and vetted, and he was pulled up specifically.
And he made his and he had his coming out in 04. Remember at the DNC in 04.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The young senator, when he was just a young senator from Illinois.
Yep, I was in grad school, and I remember one of my classmates was talking about, "Oh, I like him. I like the way he speaks. Yeah, I like him. He looks really good. I think we're going to see a lot from him in the future." And so, a lot of it was pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you expect? It's somebody said it right. Somebody said presidents are selected, not elected. Years ago.
Yeah,
I've heard that quote.
But in government,
Mm-hmm.
from the elected class even down into the civilian class,
Mm-hmm.
you see that type of thing. People are selectively pulled up. Some people are selectively pulled over other people based upon who up top likes you, or basically who up top you're connected with.
Yep.
So that's
how it is.
government. That's government. It's not always fair. It's not always just, but it's a Game of Thrones.
And everyone has their benefactors.
That's right.
I'm not gonna play it, but somebody put the actual clip in there where Jesse Jackson talking about I want to cut his nuts off. So
yeah, Andre, take a look at it because he literally whispers.
Yeah.
But the mics are on, so. And I think that shows why the context matters as well. Because if you just hear him say that, you're like, oh my God. Because the first time I heard it, my dad told it to me. My dad didn't tell me this is what happened before that. So context matters.
Yes, context does matter.
Yeah. Well, AB, I'm gonna jump down. Thanks for letting me up. I'll talk to you guys later.
I'm about to go to bed myself.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Peace. I would like to thank everybody that came through to watch this clusterfuck of an interview. This is AB Media 83, and I'm going to bed. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.